Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your support. I greatly appreciate it. This is the daily forecast. It is forecasted for all signs. It is to be used by anybody who sees it, when you see it. It is, they're done progressively, day by day. So it's originally created for Friday. Wait, no. Sorry. Yes, Friday the 4th. Wow, we're already at Friday. Okay. Friday the 4th of March. It is not necessarily solely set for that date. If you're watching it in a different month other than March or, a different year than when it was created, don't worry. It could pop up in your feed for a reason because there might be something in here that you need to hear, right? I do believe that readings can work that way. So don't necessarily turn it off just because the date doesn't align. If this reading does make sense to you, great. Utilize it. If it just feels like I'm speaking to a particular situation in your life that you're going through or dealing with, and it feels as though maybe whatever I'm saying is validating feelings that you're having or thoughts that you're having, please, that's the purpose of these readings. They are broad spectrum, so they're intended for like a group collective of all signs. It's a generalized energy reading of kind of what's going on around us and what we can be focusing on or maybe utilizing to our advantage or being aware of so that we don't get too caught up in anything that may slow our progress or evolution, that sort of a thing, right? So it's also a kind of take what you need, leave the rest sort of situation. If you're new to me, please check out the drop down menu. In there is information about my readings and the different decks I use each month, how to purchase them if you're interested in buying a deck through Amazon, how to follow me on social media, and just things I want you to think about as far as when utilizing my readings. Also, if you're interested in a private reading, those are available too, and you can book that through the Linktree link by following my social medias and messaging me at the places where I can be found, and then paying through PayPal. So all of that is available to you. So check that out. If you're new also, and even if you've been around and you're a regular viewer, please hit the thumbs up button if you enjoy the content. I greatly appreciate it. It helps me out. It lets me know that what I'm doing is being appreciated. It also lets YouTube understand that although I have a small audience, they are mighty and they are entertained. And hopefully that will push YouTube to put my videos out to others that might also like my work. Leaving questions and comments is also greatly appreciated. And if you're new, subscribing, I love that. Hit that notification bell so you get notified when a new video goes up so you can stay in with the dailies and see them every day and see if they actually speak to you. I do get messages oftentimes through Facebook from viewers that kind of watch and then they stop watching and then they start rewatching again and they're like, oh my God, it's as if you're speaking directly to me. So you never know. So let's just see what's going on in the cards today. I will be referencing cards that are in the underpinning reading, which is Sunday's reading. That's where I look at the whole week as just the week as a whole, basically. And those cards are still at play underneath the cards you're seeing today for this Friday, okay? So if you need to see that video to understand what I'm talking about, it will show up in the lower left-hand corner at the end of this video. And you can kind of look at that and reference that to get an idea of what I'm talking about. So here we go. Let's see what the cards have to say to us. Okay, so we have the King of Cups. I will take him. I love the King of Cups. He's warm, he's loving, he's very much Piscean energy, which we are in Pisces season, right? We also, as I mentioned yesterday, we have a lot of planets in Pisces right now. The moon just transitioned out of Pisces. We had the new moon on the 2nd. It was still in Pisces on the 3rd. We're now in the 4th, and it's moved into, I believe, Aries. So that's all fine, great, and good. But we still have Jupiter, Neptune and Uranus, or one of them, and the Sun is still in the sign of Pisces. So there's still a lot of that Piscean energy going on. The King of Cups is going to be an authority, right? Obviously, he's a king. He's somebody who's in charge. For some reason, when I'm looking at him right now, he feels very nostalgic to me. Like he might be looking back in reflection. Just the way that he's positioned, he looks like he's looking to the past. I always associate this side of the screen as the past, and this side of the screen as our future. Um, and I feel like he's maybe contemplating situations of the past, or maybe things that are beyond. I don't want to say beyond his reach, but like that have already transpired, right? I don't get a sense of sadness or anything. Sometimes the cards will give me like emotion, right? I feel like there's a detachment here with the King of Cups, which is not often something that I would associate with the King of Cups. He's generally very compassionate, emotionally available, and I would say, he could even be clingy. Just because he's a cup sign, or a cups card. But to me, this looks like quiet contemplation, quiet reflection on maybe what we've been through, where we've been at, and really being sort of okay with it all is my feeling, right? The other thing that gets me about this is even though he's reflecting towards the past or looking towards the past, his body position is focused towards the past. I love the light that's coming in the window next to him. To me, that represents the future. I don't know why I'm saying this, but that's what I'm feeling right now. So, although we might be reflecting upon the past, we also understand that there is a future ahead of us, and that whatever it is that we've collectively learned through our past experiences, however emotional they may have been, if they were upsetting, if they were even wonderful, we can sort of reflect back on them and understand that they've kind of brought us to this point of wisdom, knowledge, authority, a position of, I want to say power, right? Because that would be the king. But to me, the King of Cups is probably one of the sweetest kings of the deck, if not the sweetest king of the deck. It's not like we're power hungry, right? It's not like we're like, I'm going to wield this power and take over the world, right? It's more like being appreciative or in gratitude for the experiences we've had, whether they were good, bad, or indifferent, right? Looking back on them and going, well, Jesus, I've come a long way. That's sort of the feeling that he is giving me this morning. And being okay with that, like emotionally secure in that. And there's a certain value with that, right? Where it almost feels like I want to say that the charge is off the switch in a way for us. Like maybe situations that used to engage us in ways that were possibly emotionally negative or get under our skin, they don't anymore, is kind of the feeling that I'm getting from him. Like we've grown up or we've evolved out of that. We've risen above it. We've become more in control maybe of our emotional state. And we can look at things a little bit more, I don't know, objectively or impartially. And that's the vibe that I'm getting from him today. I feel like there's like, although he is in reflection, that window gives me this idea that we're reflecting back so that we can close those doors so that we can move towards the future. And that would be the window. Does that make sense? And moving towards that future from that space of love, right? From that space of understanding, from that space of knowing our own worth, our own ability, our own capability, right? What we've been through has sort of brought us to this present moment and created us into who we are today. And that's actually a rather good thing when we see the King of Cups, because if that's who we are today, or that's who we're dealing with somebody that is loving, kind, compassionate, emotionally available. All of those are qualities of the King of Cups. Now, this might be us dealing with ourselves and just feeling that settledness within, and allow that feeling to take you over today, right? Underneath this, because we're now heading into the weekend, in the underpinning cards, we have the Ten of Cups, which is that emotional abundance and well-being, which would also lead to this sort of settling and this kind of, I don't know, this ability to impartially reflect through this king today. But we also have the end of the week card, which is the Page of Swords. And he's Mr. like investigator. He's Mr. like, wait a second, I need one last look before I move forward. I need to understand one last piece of information before I truly move forward. And I think that that might be what's going on with this King of Cups too, and why he appears to be in reflection to me, because it's like we might be in a state of, I don't know, emotional review or a sense of understanding a situation, a person, a thing that we've just dealt with that emotionally might have had us charged up. And we're really kind of like okay with it where it is. And now we're sort of that underpinning energy of the mixture. I'm going to say the mixture of the 10 of Cups, which is emotional well-being, and the investigative nature of the Page of Swords brings about this contemplation within this King of Cups. Right? Pages always want to learn. They're young, they're youthful, they're exuberant. The Page of Swords can often be trying to solve the puzzle, or, but in a way that's not necessarily negative, is the feeling that I'm getting because I'm seeing this King of Cups today. It feels to me like making sense of things that maybe used to baffle us, right? Or used to, things that we maybe used to react to no longer have that hold upon us. And there's a quiet sort of appreciation of that today. Okay. I'm hoping that's where you guys are at. If it's not, get into it. Like, find this energy within you and understand that it exists within you, where you can sit safely within your emotional self in a place of well-being and contemplation, and still look at a situation and not necessarily get overwhelmed by it in an emotional state. Does that make sense? I hope that does, because the logic of that Page of Swords too is going to help keep this King of Cups balanced. Let's look at the Sacred Destiny Oracle and see what that has to say. And we have freedom, guys. And I believe these birds look like swallows to me, and I believe that swallows are signifiers of spirit being around, if I'm not mistaken. But these are beautiful. And I love this card. I'm really feeling this deck. I mean, I love the angel deck too. That's why I chose it, because it's my birthday month. And I thought that it would be beautiful to use. And these are really pairing nicely together, I feel like. So as this king, and the first thing I noticed right out of the gate with these two cards paired together is as the, like that window that I was telling you, that is like sort of the doorway to the future that he's looking through, right? He's looking to the past, reflecting, not getting caught up, kind of tying up loose ends around emotional situations that maybe used to baffle him or confuse him, gathering whatever that information is that Page of Swords needs. And then he's going to start to move towards this window, to move out of this space in a very much a state of calm, centered well-being emotionally. And that to me creates this freedom where we can then fly forward and into the light, into the future, into maybe a next chapter, into change. I love that the bird is represented, because that brings in also that air element of that Page of Swords investigative nature, right? Because birds fly through the air. The Page of Swords is an element of air card. Swords represents this, the air signs. So there's an intellect aspect to this, but it's like, whatever it is that we're doing today, however it is that we're contemplating, whatever it is that we're reviewing, emotionally, we should be feeling content or complete within the situation, even if it didn't work out in the way we wanted. And we're able to set ourselves free, and we're able to move forward. And actually, I kind of feel like moving forward rather quickly, because I get like these birds are kind of, like flying forward rather quickly. I think those are sparrows, if I'm not mistaken. And sparrows are a sign of spirit being near, or past loved ones being near. So I find that interesting. Let me read to you the card for freedom. Excuse me. Oh, it's a swallow. Sorry. Swallow. Cliff swallow. The swallow flies free on wind currents and thermals in remarkable aerial maneuvers, igniting the expression as free as a bird. In many cultures, such as that of the ancient Egyptians, the swallow was thought to carry souls to heaven. Early sailors would tattoo themselves with an image of a swallow, so if they drowned, the swallow would carry their soul to the heavens. That's beautiful. In poor light, a cliff swallow looks brownish looks brownish gray. However, in good lighting, it is luminous metallic dark blue. Cliff swallows traditionally make their nests on vertical cliffs, carefully crafting them out of mud. Although they can nest solitarily, they usually nest in colonies. When one finds a cloud of insects, it alerts the other members of the flock so that all can be nourished. Even though they fly free, their community supports them. The sacred landscape wants you to know express yourself without hesitation. Break free and let your spirit fly. Make choices that increase your freedom. Don't be tied down. Laugh, dance, explore, and go beyond predictable behavior. Be daring, cast aside restrictions, find your wings, and as you do, you'll help others find theirs. You are not here to be ordinary or live a mundane life. You are here to step beyond limitations and self imposed boundaries. Do not be trapped by convention or the need to please others. Choose life on your terms. Don't accept rules that don't feel right. You can be immensely free and yet still be part of a loving, supporting community. And that loving supportiveness is also very much in this King of Cups, I feel like, too, right? And the King of Cups would certainly feed the rest of his community emotionally. So we have the ability to do that today. I love that. I just feel like there's something, or that Page of Swords underneath this, there's something that we're learning about ourselves or within ourselves that is bringing about this settling and this emotional contentment that is going to release us to be free, to be maybe better to ourselves and then thus better within our own communities. So fly free, my little swallows. All right, so let me look to the grounding stone for today. And the grounding stone, which is on Snowflake Obsidian, is passion. Now, the King of Cups would be associated with passion, and freedom to me would be a passion that we all would want to pursue. I don't get the sense of passion like in a romantic sense. I get the sense of passion in like what drives us, what excites us, what lights us up, what engages us, not only emotionally, but also with the youthfulness of that Page of Swords mentally. And pursuing that, learning that and grounding in that today, right? The passion and the emotion of the King of Cups is like, where are we, maybe wanting to head towards, and then releasing ourselves into the idea. And pages are oftentimes exuberant, open-minded, and ready to learn. So maybe we get to explore the choices that we make today and how we pursue our passion, both emotionally and mentally. Does that make sense? The grounding stone for this week, I'll just remind you guys, is the stone Create, which is underneath that passion stone. Which is underneath that passion stone. So create some passion today. Think about allowing your passion to drive your creations. If your creation is something that feels far off, reflect back a little bit in your emotions, check your emotions through that King of Cups, and then allow your mind to open like the page and to learn how to move yourself towards that passion and the creation of it. And you will move quite quickly, is my feeling with this freedom card. These swallows feel like they want to get on the road and get going, fly to where they need to be. And so we always have that. And I love the analogy of them being gray and then beautifully colored, right? So we may see ourselves in one way, but we're actually seen or viewed by others in a completely different way. That is your in a much more beautiful way is what I mean. That is your forecast for the day. Thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in. Please hit the thumbs up button, share the video out, leave a question or comment, tune in tomorrow, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you guys then. Have a wonderful day and take care. Bye-bye.